been doing a couple polls recently, one of which was asking if people thought Venture was in a good state right now. With over 400 votes, 22% said they're perfectly fine, 17% said they still need buffs, and an overwhelming 61% of people said they're in a fine state, but they need quality of life improvements. And honestly, I can agree more. While Venture is currently fine, we're definitely still lacking the polish other heroes get, which is ironic considering Venture was probably the most balanced hero at the time of their launch within Overwatch 2. Everyone else was either way too strong, way too weak, or some odd combination of both. All of them, however, got the tuning they needed. Eventually, and were able to find a nice spot for everyone, new and old. But for Venture, they got some tuning that in all reality they didn't need. The first nerf I think is fine actually, making Venture have to aim a bit more. But the other nerf feels unnecessary. Reading the note, as a highly mobile damage hero... What? Highly mobile! Highly mobile is Sombra, Tracer, or Genji. Venture is not highly mobile. They have many ways to move, yes, but highly mobile is not one of the ways I would describe this hero. But okay, they nerfed the shield's gain on abilities, which might be half of their problems in one, but either way, let's move on. One comment I saw a lot was that their burrows should be faster, but I think there's a better buff that could work well for them, and that is to give them the shield health once the ability is activated as opposed to once they're in the ground. And additionally, let them be healed underground, damn it! Sometimes the root problem is different. There should be a bit of punishment time for this ability. Venture gets to become As I was saying, Venture gets to become invulnerable. The problem isn't the cast time, it's how much Venture dies because I use it too late. Wait, is that a clip where I died to a fucking mid-range soldier while using the ability at 100 HP? Okay, and maybe make it a little bit faster, and also give the shields upon using the ability. Reaper has 300 HP because he essentially only has 250. Wraith gives him a second chance, you just need to use it with HP to spare. Venture, in the same vein, should have this, but they only have 250 HP. And if we're allergic to them having 275 HP, why not give Venture the 30 HP upon activation of Burrow? I think this would really help their kit and be a lot more healthy for the game than making the ability essentially endless. And speaking of games, let's talk about mine this week. We all voted for Saravasa. 2 people voted for Antarctic. And you know what? Everyone hates this map, but I don't think a damn soul knows why. Like, seriously. I swear, this is one of the most universally hated maps in the game, but I've yet to hear a single person tell me why. I hate it, and I don't know why. I've had some very enjoyable games on this map. I think it's the case where every other map in the control card is so peak that this one gets left behind. Either way, we won, and I think I hit a few good shots. But the next game after, well, I turned off text chat. But it seemed like everyone was spending their time typing about how we're losing, while hardly trying to change that. All I could really tell was that our tanks were dying a lot. I know I say don't care about your stats, but I feel like that only goes to an extent. Like, if you're a tank and you've died 12 times, meanwhile most of the squishies can't get past 8, yeah, I think that's a you problem. Granted, the map also died, like, a lot, so I'm not completely sure. Either way, sniper maps suck. So let's play on another one. In Town, we had a lot of problems early on, not getting a single pick all the way up to the 3rd point. But then, seeing a tiny Torby walk backwards, I knew if I just had the majority of my shots, he'd be done for. And sure enough, he went down. After the Torb was gone, the enemy just folded. I'm not gonna pretend that me killing that Torb single-handedly got us those other kills. Wait, no, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Single-handedly by killing that Torb, I helped us kill the rest of the team. I am a fucking goddess and you will treat me as such. Comment I love Denny's for my amusement. From there on, I was just a walking nightmare for this little dude. His hitbox just absorbed my... What the fuck does Venture shoot? I actually never thought about that. Little drills? Do they use that function to dig into tiny holes in walls or something? Torb made Venture drill if I recall. Whether it was specifically made for them or it's a line of products, I don't know. What use does its shooting function have other than shooting people? Also, isn't Venture's feel, you know, finding sunken artifacts to learn more about the world, one that will require precision, not willy-nilly drilling? I mean, either way, Torbjorn died. A lot. I even got a little cocky. But who can blame me? Right here, if I dash in, I can kill the Torb and then burrow while behind cover so the enemy can't. What? No! Now, another major problem with Venture is camera lock on drill dash. Why is that a thing? Doomfist doesn't have it, and it feels awesome. So why not Venture? They're essentially Overwatch 2's version of DPS Doomfist. A place for us who absolutely despise tank fists to actually have some fun. So why make this baffling decision? Drill dash just should not have a lock on the camera. The camera lock is even weirder when you realize there already isn't a lock wall in Burrow! Either way, let this game be a lesson in never giving up. We managed to go from not getting a single kill until the final point, all the way into winning the game. For once in my life, the competitive modifiers were accurate. Seriously, far too many times have I had the closest game of my life just to get the expected modifier. Now, the next match, I was doing kind of insane. To be fair, we ended up losing, but look at some of this. Pushing the ram off like 15 times because fuck him. This hit on the soldier was kind of epic, and this point-winning play was really damn cool. Even though I still don't know why the Ana boosted me here. All around though, I performed pretty well this game. Yes, we lost, but still, gotta take the good with the bad. The next game kinda sucked. We recently found out what the most enjoyed game modes are, split between Masters and the rest of us. And if there's anything driving me to get better at Overwatch, it's this. Actually, I'd written out a whole segment talking about each game mode and why Flashpoint is at least on par with Control, which is way better than Escort and Hybrid. But if you want to hear that, maybe I could do that on its own video. So subscribe if that's something that fits your fancy. And YouTube says that over 70% of my viewers are not subscribed. And correct me if I'm wrong because I failed several math classes, but I'm pretty sure that means that if everyone subscribed, I could be at 10K right now! That's amazing for this channel. It could seriously help me turn this into a full-time thing. So if you enjoy my content, even in the slightest, please subscribe as it helps me so much! Plus, I got Discord and Twitch stuff going on if you really enjoy my content. And if you think none of that is good enough support, you can donate to me on Patreon. Just $1 a month will get you clearer commentaries for episodes 1 to 8 of 1 Year's Venture. Okay, back to the video. The map that we played on was Circuit Royale, and I'm pretty sure my team was flaming someone while I was in the middle of having match chat off. What I do know for sure is I did kinda cock up here. I didn't use my ult fast enough, and we couldn't touch. Now, granted, the rest of my team should have tried a little harder to push, but still, I could have definitely done something more. Now, let's get back onto the topic of this video, fixing Venture. Let us cancel Burrow while in the air. Too many times have fellow Venture players' lives ended simply because they fell out of Burrow and couldn't do anything. Shut the fuck up. Too many times have fellow Venture players' lives ended simply because we fell out of Burrow and just couldn't do anything about it. It's just a nice little change that will make the character feel more fluid. Sometimes you accidentally dig off the map and it'd be nice to actually be able to save yourself. Or maybe you dig yourself off a high up area and would love to shoot while you're falling down. Sure, you can't see a burrow, but now you're not locked in an animation. Okay, in this game, I grabbed Grace so I could have a little bit of joy in my life. Unfortunately, I did a little fucking and didn't record the audio correctly, so you can't hear her. So it just sounds like I'm talking to the voices in my head. Grace, tell me on this doll where he touched you. Anyways, this game was pretty fun for me since I got to show off some of my improved aim. I seriously feel zen whenever I'm in a simple 1v1, because Venture basically always wins 1v1s. Also, I kinda did a bit of dumb stuff, but don't worry about it. Okay, so Venture's major problems. Burrow time, camera lock, being unable to burrow an arrow, and Tectonic Shock fucking sucks. Okay, with the perk, Tectonic Shock became a viable ultimate. Make this base kit, please, because it makes the ult somewhat usable. Only somewhat, though, because holy hell, this hitbox is so bad. So many times someone in front of me will just... It also feels like it's way too narrow of a cone. It also feels like way too narrow of a cone at the start of it. Someone in front of you is just not in your range, actually. And yes, I know I keep mentioning the Zarya point, but I will do it again and again until it gets fixed, because it's so fucking dumb. Reinhardt can shatter here. If he's in the air and he shatters, he falls through. Venture should at the very least on the ground still be able to use tectonic shock. This hero has existed for an entire year and they are still so jank. Why, Overwatch? Why? Venture, I love them, but holy fuck. Venture is probably the least polished hero in the game. I don't say this to be mean to the people working on this game. I say this because I want Venture to be fixed. I complain because I want to see them get the changes they need to be a more fluid hero. Venture's true biggest flaw is that they just don't feel finished. This sucks extra when you think about how Team 4 really wants a new player's experience to be simple and fun. Venture is a hero that many people likely put down just because they feel unfinished. Now, I don't want to leave this video on such a sour note, so I'll say this. Despite all of this, I still love Venture. They are one of the most fun heroes in any game I've ever played. I just wish that they could get the fixes they need. They're seriously one of the most interesting characters brought forth in Overwatch 2. Not only in their personality, their character design, but also how they're supposed to function. I just wish that how they're supposed to function would reflect how they actually do. I'd like to thank Nappies and Leviathan for supporting me on Patreon. It goes a long way in helping me continue to do this type of content. If you want to see your name here, consider joining for as low as $1 a month.